New at 4, while you're enjoying summer and making a list of things to do before heading back to school, don't forget to make a doctor's appointment as part of your to-do list for your kids with asthma. According to the Allergy and Asthma Network, 6.2 million children have asthma in the U.S., and July is Asthma Tune Up time. Joining me here in the studio is Dr. Sandy Khurana. She's from the University of Rochester and the American College of Chest Physicians. Doctor, thanks so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
So first, can you tell us why you refer to July as Asthma Tune-Up time?
You know, as you know, Christy, July is when kids are preparing to go back to school, and you know, when they go back to school, they're suddenly exposed to a lot of triggers for asthma that they're away from in the summer. So we actually see this asthma flare-up epidemic towards September because of a culmination of all these exposures. You know, for example, the ragweed season is starting. You know, they huddle up with their friends, and there's a lot of sharing, so they pass on viruses and germs, and that can be a trigger. They're exposed to perhaps new sports and activities. There's some indoor allergens like mold or dust that they may be exposed to. So there are a lot of things, plus the stress and the anxiety of going back to school together ends up showing us a high rate of asthma flares and even emergency room visits in September. So it's a good idea for parents to make an appointment with their healthcare provider for a tune-up so that they can make sure that the kids are on the right asthma medications before they go back to school.
What kind of questions should parents be asking doctors?
You know, it's important to have a partnership with their doctors. So they need to talk to their doctors so they can come up with an asthma action plan. So there's information that they'll need to provide their physicians or their healthcare providers about you know, the kids' symptoms, what their triggers are, how often they're experiencing you know, wheezing or cough or exercise limitation, and based on that, the doctors will need to provide or tailor their treatment, their asthma regimen to them.
I would think this is important too when kids are going back to school and they're not home all day, so there could be medicine I would assume that they could possibly have to take at school. And with that being said, what exactly is an asthma management plan?
So an asthma action plan or an asthma management plan, it's a written plan which is developed by you know, the child's healthcare provider, where it includes, it's usually based on you know, person's symptoms, and if they have a peak flow meter, which is a way to monitor your lung function at home, based on those readings, and there's typically there's a red, yellow, and green zone, and depending on your symptoms, it guides you as to what needs to happen. So if you're in the green zone, you're doing great. If you're in the yellow zone, it may need a little tweaking up of the medications, and if you're in the red zone, then you need urgent help. So it really is a very concrete way of knowing what to do when, and it provides a lot of guidance to the parents. This is something that should also be shared by the school team. So the school nurses, the coaches, the teachers should also have a copy of that so they know what to do when kids are in school.
Okay, sounds like a very important reminder this time of year.
It is.
All right, Dr. Sandy Khurana, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.